The Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors has resolved to embark on a 5-day warning strike beginning from Wednesday, that is tomorrow. The doctors say they have presented several issues bordering on patients' doctors' welfare to the federal government without getting any invitation for dialogue from the government. The resident doctors also added that after their last extraordinary executive council meeting between the 27th and 29th of April, they issued the government a 2-week ultimatum to address the burning issues presented. The ultimatum ended 3 days ago. Well, President of the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors, Orji Innocent, joins me via Zoom from Abuja for more on this developing story. Thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you very much, Veronica.
Now, sometime, I think 2 weeks ago, the Minister of Labor and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, said that the federal government has met all the demands that the resident doctors were requesting, and was wondering why the association was seemingly having a sense of entitlement mentality. I wonder what your reaction to that is.
Thank you very much for having me. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors National Executive Council had an extraordinary section in Abeokuta, FMC Abeokuta, on the 28th of April 2023, and the next day we issued our 2-week ultimatum to government to address numerous challenges bedeviling the health sector and ultimately affecting our members and Nigerians in general. Those issues ranges from the grossly inadequate manpower in our hospitals, the shortage of staff, inadequate infrastructure. We also talked about immediate upward review of our consolidated medical salary structure, the payment of 2023 medical ready training funds, the withdrawal of the obnoxious bill by Honorable Gani Johnson, which seeks to enslave Nigerian doctors. The numerous challenges in our various state tertiary health institutions across the country. These issues are very specific, and they have not been addressed up till now. In fact, at the expiration of the ultimatum, by the time we were meeting yesterday, our members noted that there was no attempt by the government to even call us for negotiation. Now, the issue, because the essence of issuing an ultimatum is to raise an alarm to the government and indeed to Nigerians that we have challenges that need to be addressed. And if that ultimatum will expire without any attempt by the government, by the Ministry of Health, that is our parent ministry, to call us for discussion, then I don't know, how to describe that. And our members analyzed this yesterday, and it was even a push for an indefinite strike action. But we considered the incoming government of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we felt that it will not be a good welcome for him to be taken over at the time that the health sector is in crisis. And therefore, we tried as much as possible to assuage our members to just limit this to 5 days warning strike, hoping that before the expiration of that 5 days, and indeed before next week or between now and next week, both the current government and the incoming government should try and look at the issues we have presented to the table and address them. We have a lot of issues. In fact, so many of these issues can be resolved within days. They are not things that should be left for the incoming government to come and start grappling with. And we are calling on them.
So what was your engagement like with the Ministry of Health? Was there never an engagement? Because I mentioned earlier that the Minister for Labor, Chris Ngige, had said that the demands that your association had made had been met. And I wanted you to address that, because I'm wondering where then are all of these issues coming from, if he is saying that or claiming that the federal government had met all the demands.
The reason I took my time to enumerate the demands we've placed on the table is we are all Nigerians. I was specific in those demands. They have been in the public space. let them provide evidence that they have met those demands. 2023 MRTF has still not been paid. The upper review of consolidated medical salary structure, which they set up committee in the Ministry of Health last year. In fact, throughout this year, they didn't even meet. So the circular has not come out. There is this brain drain committee that was set up last year by the Ministry of Health to fashion a way of reducing the time it takes to employ clinical staff who are leaving the system in droves. And that, because what we have now is that for you to employ any clinical staff in the federal institution, it will take you not less than 8 months because of the bureaucratic bottleneck. So that committee resolved and came up with a guideline that reduced that time it takes to employ clinical staff to 3 months. The report of the committee was submitted in February this year. 3 months later, the circular is yet to come out. These things are specific. I'm talking about specific things. They have not been addressed. You know, we have salary areas of 2015, 2016, right, and 2014. We have issues in our state tertiary health institutions. Right. The bill by Honorable Ghanaian Johnson has still not been withdrawn.
So well, it has, because a report, it has. That bill has been withdrawn. A report this afternoon that I saw, the federal government has described that bill as unworkable. And so that seemed to have been thrown out as it stands.
Withdrawn. If they have withdrawn it, they should give us evidence. It's even good that the federal government has now come out to condemn the bill, because what our members have been telling us, you know, all this was that because they have information that some interest in the Federal Ministry of Health are even the one, you know, sponsoring and supporting that honorable member, because we know that even the brain drain committee I talked about that started last year tried to even bring up policies that will forcibly restrict the movement of Nigerian doctors, which is against the constitution. So we were able to stop them at the level of that committee. So our members feel that they went behind to now start to use the parliament to bring out a law, you know, to still achieve their purpose.
Okay, so with the federal government saying it is unworkable, I believe that the one aspect has been dealt with. But we must thank you, President of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Orji Innocent, for your time on the news. We move on to other matters now. The Inspector General of Police has warned aggrieved persons or parties that lost out at the presidential election against attempts to frustrate the presidential inauguration ceremony. The IGP, Usman Alkali, says that some political actors are bent on engaging extrajudicial means to advance their interests in a manner that questions their overall intention. Sifon Isian has details.
Preparations are in top gear for the presidential inauguration ceremony scheduled for May the 29th. But with the preparations come the concern by the police authorities over the activities of persons or political parties over the transition program.
It has been observed that some major political actors that the outcome did not favor have been issuing public threats that are directed at instigating actions to frustrate the presidential inauguration ceremony on the 29th of May.
He says such actions are capable of truncating the democratic process and causing chaos.
We will defend our democracy at all costs. The 29th May 2023 date for the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and indeed other inauguration ceremonies at national and state level, is sacrosanct. We shall undertake this task optimally and manifestly. Anybody that stands in the way will be identified, promptly isolated, and brought to deserve justice in the overriding interests of our national security and stable political order.
The police chief's warning is coming at a time the police in Lagos have taken custody of Afrobeat musician Seun Kuti for allegedly assaulting a police operative. Sifon Isian, TVC News, Abuja.
And still ahead, the presidential inauguration, the venue team of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Inauguration Transition Committee has visited the Eagle Square venue of the 29th of May ceremony. They were at Eagle Square to inspect ongoing renovation and decorations at the venue. They also met with other committees handling various aspects of the national event. As a new president takes the oath of office, the committee says preparations have been top-notch and all elements to organize and contribute to the success of the civilian-to-civilian transition are in place. Members of the committee see the Inauguration Day event as the beginning of a new dispensation that will improve the well-being of citizens, grow the economy, and ensure the safety of lives and property.
We are actually here to view the venue, the parade ground, in preparation of the swearing-in of the President-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you can look around, you see that there's a lot of renovation work that's going on. Everyone all over the world is preparing to come to Nigeria to come and witness the swearing-in of the next president of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There's construction work going on, as we can all see. So I'm guessing in the next couple of days, the stage is going to be set for the swearing-in of the next president. Well, this is strictly a military affair. So definitely when you have a military affair swearing-in of the president, there's going to be security measures in place. We've also gotten intelligence that some individuals are not comfortable with the emergence of the president that was actually overwhelmingly elected by the masses. But we have to forge forward as a country, and the next president has assured everyone that their noise and their disgruntlement would actually be addressed.
I would like to assure you and the general public that everything is in place. Both the protocol committee, the security, combined with the transport and logistics, where all our hands are on deck to see that every guest is being well taken care of. So as they land Nigeria, we are going to take care of them from wherever they landed. Any airport they are, we'll take them to their various accommodations, both us and the protocol committee, and make sure they attend the inauguration come 29th May, inshallah.
The United States says it has taken steps to impose visa restrictions on specific individuals in Nigeria for undermining the democratic process during the just concluded 2023 general elections. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken announced the development in a statement on Monday. Mr. Blinken clarified that the sanctions were specific to certain individuals and not the Nigerian people or the government as a whole. He said the affected persons had been involved in voter threats, results manipulation, physical violence, and other activities that undermined democracy. According to Mr. Blinken, the visa ban was the United States' commitment to supporting Nigeria's aspirations to strengthen the rule of law. He said, quote, "The United States is committed to supporting and advancing democracy in Nigeria and around the world," end quote.